Hello, happy Earth Day! My name is Mariah. I'm with the University of Maryland Extension. Today I'm going to talk to you about ways that you can reuse plastic items commonly found in your kitchen to grow fresh vegetables in your garden. First, we're going to start with this tea jug. You can do two things with this. You can make a small seedling tray and you can also make a scoop. I've already started cutting, but I'm going to continue cutting to get a seed tray out of this and then cut the scoop. So I have my seedling tray here and my scoop here. I'm just going to fill this up with some seed starting mix. Pat it down a little. You can also do this. Spread it out evenly. You want there to be a little bit of space at the top of the container so that when you water it, it doesn't get everywhere. I'm going to plant some basil in it. And you can just spread the basil. What I do, everybody has a different method, but I put it in my hand and then I just kind of spread it around. And then you just kind of move the soil back over it. And that's that. The second thing I'm going to show you is how to reuse a juice jug and make a mini greenhouse. I'm going to have to do some cutting again, so I'll be back in a second. So I've cut my juice container in about half, and when you're cutting this, if the juice container you're using has these little ridges, I really recommend cutting along those because it's easier to cut than this part of the plastic. So I'm going to fill this with some of the seed starting mix with the scoop I made earlier, and I'm going to try not to make a mess, but I'm outside on a beautiful day, so if I do, it's easy enough to clean up. And again, you don't want to fill it to the tippity top of the container. Even though I'm going to put this back on top of it to make the greenhouse top, the water could still leak out the seams. So I'm going to leave, what's that, ½ inch in between the top of the container and the soil level. Now that I have this filled up with soil, I'm going to add some of my favorite vegetable seeds to it. Spaghetti squash! So I'm just going to take a seed, put it in this corner, and take another seed and put it down in that corner. I'll put it a little bit more center, and then just cover them with soil to the appropriate depth. Pat it down. Then I'm going to add some water from a milk jug that I colored earlier as a watering container. It has some little flowers on it. It's really easy to do, it's really simple, it's really fun. It's a fun little activity after everybody eats their cereal in the morning. And just water it a little. Just enough to hydrate the soil. A little more. Alright, not too much. So now I'm going to put the top back on, and it's easier if your bottle is shaped like mine, like a little bit smaller in the front, to use the wider part in the back, and then squeeze the front and push it down. So there's a little greenhouse, and then once you start seeing some growth, you can open up the lid a little. So here's our little greenhouse. Another project I'm going to show you today is how to turn an old water bottle into a seedling waterer. So first, just remove the cap. Then just poke a couple holes in the cap. I put about 3 in here. I twist my knife a little, and it works really well. Next project I'm going to show you is how to use one of these old produce containers to grow microgreens. So first, you just open the lid, add some soil, a bit much soil, so I'm going to take some out. Tap it down, even it out. Just put a little more on. Then you get your greens, and you can use pretty much any greens for this. I'm using a Casper kale. It's supposed to be a sweet flavor and great for salads. Then you just spread it around. I like to think of this as spreading cheese on pizza, maybe. And you can do like little rows, like your little mini farmer, and your little mini habitat, but I think you'll get just as good results if you spread it out evenly along the container. Then you just spread the dirt back around to cover the seeds. Next, put your container onto a saucer so when you water it won't leak everywhere. Then just gently water. This is really good for watering seedlings with because you can squeeze or go very gently. And when it gets toward the end of the bottle, you can squeeze harder to get more pressure. So we get all the water out. Microgreens are really tasty, so I think using a sweet variety for salads is going to be really tasty. Nice sweet topping for your salads. Okay, the water's running out the bottom. All the water from the bottle's gone. So then you just close your lid and put this in a sunny location and you should have microgreens soon. Enjoy! The next project I'm going to show you is how to turn this old yogurt container into a small planter. First, remove the lid. Then, poke some holes in the bottom of the container. I've already poked a couple, but I'm just going to widen them to improve drainage. So, you just get a small knife, poke some holes, make them big enough so that water can flow through. I put about 5 in the bottom of this one. Next, put some soil in your container. I'm going to put some gloves on. Get my scoop. Fill the container. There. Now you just tap it down to level the soil out. And I filled the soil to about half of an inch or so from the top of the container. That way when I water it, the soil won't run over the edges. Now I'm going to add my seeds. So I'm going to plant a couple watermelon seeds in here. I'm going to plant about 4. When they get big enough, you can transplant them into your garden. Just pushing them down into the soil. Covering them back up with soil. Then you can put it on this saucer when you bring it inside, so when you water it, the water won't get all over your furniture. It'll just go right into the saucer. You can also use the seedling tray I showed you earlier with the tea container as a plant tray saucer. Just put that under your pretty pots inside so that way when you water them, the water will go into the saucer instead of on your furniture. So again, you can see that this is a really good seedling waterer. It doesn't move the soil around too much, and it's very gentle, so it doesn't move the seeds around. It's very good. Another way that you can reuse plastic from your kitchen is to regrow romaine lettuce from the stump. So you just get a water bottle, carefully cut it in half. Once you get your water bottle cut in half, just fill it with some water. That should be plenty. And then just see if it fits. Mine doesn't, so I'm just going to remove some of the outer leaves. Now it fits. The bottom is submerged in water. The top is supported, and I'm just going to let it sit for a couple days. Some new lettuce leaves should be sprouting out of the top in no time. This would also work really well in a small glass container that you have in your kitchen, like from a baby jar or a small jam jar. The last project I'm going to be showing you today is how to use a milk jug in order to create plant tags. First, you cut the top off of the milk jug. Then, you cut this long part off. Then, you just cut this in strips. You want them big enough you can write on. Maybe like a ½ inch or so. Then, once you cut them into strips, you just get your black magic marker and write whatever you just planted on them. I'm going to write basil, spaghetti squash, so I wrote down everything I planted. Now I'm going to label everything. I'm just going to slide the label into the side, leave it to stick out a little bit. Same thing with this one. I'm going to label this one as well. And this one I'm just going to put in through the opening. And it sits right there like that. Well, that's it. I hope you have fun with these projects. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a happy Earth Day. Bye!